Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country from the blue-collar professor. He teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All right, folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. 603-1796. And again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place. Welcome.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa! Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the program where we continue to take the left of school, exposing them for who and what they really are, all while arming the hardworking Americans like yourself with knowledge needed to hold our elected officials accountable. But fear not, unlike other professors' classrooms and liberal academia, you will find no safe zones here. Why? Because we believe in the First Amendment. It is the Tuesday edition of the Gavin Mitchell Show. I am Gavin Mitchell. So excited you decided to join us. If you're looking to connect with the show, you can do so in a number of ways. You can find us on the web, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. You are free to email me anytime. I welcome them. I look forward to the emails. You can do so at Gavin@thegavinmitchellshow.com. We're on Twitter at The GM Show, Facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. You can find the show on demand anytime you would like on the website, but also iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and remember, we are just a few followers short of that magic 100 mark on Spreaker that qualifies us for iHeartRadio. So if you haven't taken the opportunity to follow us, it would mean a lot if you would. That is the mecca for podcasters, and that is where we are trying to go with this daily show. Some exciting news on the on-demand front. Google Play has released their podcast offering, and we were part of that initial offering. We were able to go in, verify, check, make sure everything was working great, and it is, so you can find us on Google Play as well. You can find the show every day at 5 p.m. Central on theconservativeradionetwork.com. That is our flagship station for the Internet. We're on the 405 Media. Special thanks to John and K98 Talk as well. Special thanks to Rick for allowing us to broadcast our show over their great stations. If you are looking for live interaction with the program, you can do so every Saturday night on News and Information KLIF 570. That is an AM station here in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. If you are outside the Dallas-Fort Worth market, fear not. You can still catch the live show and have the opportunity to call in and interact, because Ron and his guys at Conservative Radio Network have given us the opportunity to stream that live to hit our audience from across the nation, and we know it's working. We've got some calls from all across the country, and so we're grateful for that. Well, today is Decision Day. It is that day in which I think a lot of things are going to be decided and put to bed. That doesn't mean candidates are going to suspend their campaign. It doesn't mean they're going to give up. But it is a day that can effectively end this race as far as who is going to be the favorite moving forward. Well, why do I say that? I say that because Trump is the only one with a realistic possibility to get to 1237. He's still got some work to do, but it's a realistic possibility. And today, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island, those primaries are going off as we speak. There are 118 bound delegates available today. 117 or 172 in total if you count the unbound delegates in Pennsylvania. And Cruz has made a play for that. He has. But if Donald Trump has a day-to-day like he had in New York, then he becomes the obvious and apparent nominee effectively. Not literally, because he's still got to hit that 1237. There's still the possibility of a contested convention. There's this battle for delegates. Cruz isn't going anywhere. Kasich isn't going anywhere. In fact, they formed this alliance. If you didn't listen to the show yesterday, Kasich and Cruz got together, and Kasich's going to pull out of Indiana and head to Oregon and New Mexico, where Cruz is going to pull out of Oregon and New Mexico and focus on Indiana. That's how they feel they can best prevent Donald Trump from hitting that 1237 mark. And that's what they're doing right now. They're playing prevent defense, hoping for a contested convention. If you listen to their rhetoric, they're sure we're going to a contested convention. I'm not so sure, and here's why. After Donald Trump did what he did in New York, just taking at least 89, 90, 91 of the 95 delegates in New York, I believe the same thing's going to happen today. This is Donald Trump's stomping ground. This is the Northeast. This is where he's popular. This is where things are fertile for him. And he wins big here. We start to move west. We start to move toward California with stops in Indiana and other places. People like winners. And I'm not saying Donald Trump's personality is a winner, although I agree he is. What I'm saying is that if Cruz and Kasich are mathematically eliminated, people like winners. And I want to turn your attention back to Ross Perot's campaign when he was running against Billy Clinton and George Bush. 19% of the people voted for Ross Perot. But on exit polls, he would have received 35% of the vote, according to the exit polls, had people believed he was going to win. People like to vote for winners. Once this happens today, and there's not an expert out there that thinks Cruz or Kasich's going to make a run at any of these, that there's not a realistic chance. They may score some delegates, but Trump is going to win hand over fist here. If that happens after New York and we start moving west, people like to vote for winners. They're going to believe, just like I believe, this thing is all but over. Trump does have a reasonable path. It's not going to be easy, but it's realistic. If he continues to win states like he has and continues to pick up delegates like he has in New York and will today, he could very realistically hit that 1237 number. I watch a lot of Fox News, and they have that big board where they talk about projections and ifs and what ifs. And even in a worst case scenario, according to their projections, Trump's within 80 delegates of 1237. There are 200 unbound delegates out there. All he has to do is pick up 40% of those, and he's in. And so I just don't see how this thing is anything but over with that said. Now, on the left, who cares, right? It's rigged. Hillary Clinton has all the superdelegates in her pocket. Bernie Sanders has made a charge, but I believe today is where Hillary starts to pull away. The two candidates, Hillary and Trump, have already started to turn their attention to the general election. Trump has kind of made this play to be more moderate, more presidential, but he'll revert from times. His stances have without question moved back to the middle, if not towards the left, especially with this whole abortion comment that he wants to rewrite the abortion platform for the GOP. He's moving towards the middle because that's always where the battle is, right? The left votes for the left, the right votes for the right. It's those independents and those moderates that's always the battle. Now, the good news is Republicans are showing up in record numbers. Record numbers. They're even surpassing the record numbers that Barack Obama brought out from the left. Now, there is this argument out there that, well, that's a lot of people in these open states jumping ship from the left to the right to vote for Donald Trump because they want Hillary to run against Donald Trump because Hillary can beat Donald Trump. I don't know if I buy it, but there is some of that going on. We know there's some of that going on. How much? I haven't seen numbers. But there are record numbers showing up for these votes. Now, the question is, do all of those numbers translate to general election votes for Donald Trump? And that's an open question right now. We can't answer that. Why? because we have this dynamic in the right that there are a lot of anti-Trump. There are a lot of anti-Cruz. It's not for Trump or Cruz and then anti-Hillary the way it should be. It's just flat out line drawn in the sand, anti that guy who is within the party. That's not good. That's not good for the party. So if those people refuse to vote or decide to vote for Hillary, that's problematic. The other piece is how many of these people have come from the left, right? How many of those people have come from the left to vote for the right? Moreover, can Donald Trump convince enough of those sitting in the middle? If all of the primary votes translated to general election votes, Donald Trump walks into the White House. He does. But there's a third prong to this hypothetical. What if the establishment railroads the convention the way we all kind of suspect they're trying to do? Does that sever this party and put it to rest for good? I think it does. I think that blows things up from the inside, and we have zero shot moving forward at putting this thing back together to salvage a general election run. Now, can Donald Trump pull on the heartstrings of the hardworking Americans despite their loyalty to a party? I do believe so, but to what degree? And that's the big questions on the table. And so Donald Trump's work right now, after today, has to turn to party unification. He has to say the right things and he has to do the right things, or the establishment will railroad the convention. That will happen. We know that there are voters from the left that came over to the right. They're going to go back in the general election, but we have to win back those that support other candidates. And when I say we, I mean the party. I've made no secret about it. I was a Cruz guy from the jump, but I realize what's going on. I see the writing on the wall. And just like you, we're intelligent enough to understand that this thing is all but over. And we need to keep the GOP from deciding who our candidate's going to be. We need to pick the candidate, and the only way we do that is to jump on the Trump train. That's it. There are no other options at this point. You know, you hear Mark Levin, well, you got to stand up and fight. You got to fight for what you believe in. If Cruz is your guy, fight. I respect that. I respect Mark Levin. He is a professional hero of mine. I think he is fantastic. I think he's brilliant. But at some point, you have to understand the reality of the situation, understand what's going on, and understand that the ultimate goal here is to beat Hillary. That is the ultimate goal, because that goal is equivalent and synonymous with saving this country. That is paramount right now versus getting a candidate that I think might be a better fit, or that Mark Levin might think would be a better fit. That is paramount, saving this country, and that means beating Hillary Clinton. Otherwise, we're in a world of mess. Barack Obama's ideals and policies and lawlessness will continue to push forward. And on the other side of the break, I'm going to tell you what Barack Obama had to say about his State of the Union for his administration. He decided to get out there and let the world know exactly how he grades himself out. It's interesting. Hang tight. We'll be back on the other side.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and T-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit TwistedRoadsTradingPost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Hey, I want to take a moment and tell you about my buddy Daryl Petter. In life, there are two areas we all hold very close to the vest, and they're very personal to us. I'm talking about our medical history and our financial situations. When it comes to your health, you don't just go to any corner shop or Johnny-come-lately. You find the very best in their field. So why wouldn't you do the same with your financials? Daryl Petter has over 2 decades in the industry and has assembled the very best team he can find. Daryl and his guys aren't just going to sell you anything you're willing to buy. They're going to sit down with you. They're going to ask you what your goals are. What is it you want to achieve? And whether that's putting your kids through college or transferring your wealth to the next generation with as little tax obligation as possible, Daryl will find the right vehicle that gives you the very best chance to achieve those goals. Look, no one has a crystal ball to see what the future holds, but with over 2 decades of experience, Daryl and his team have seen plenty of ups and downs in the market. Daryl Petter and the guys at Petter Financial, they really are personal friends of mine, and they handle all of my financial service needs. I wouldn't recommend them if I didn't know them. So give Daryl a call today, 817-416-4346. That's 817-416-4346. A little housekeeping. Tomorrow, after these primaries in the Northeast flesh out and everything settles, of course I'm going to do my daily show as I do every day. But I'm going to join my buddy Matlock, and I know you're familiar with Matlock because if you know my show, you know his show. We're great buddies. We've been on each other's show. We both are on conservativeradionetwork.com. We're both on 405 Media. He's just a fantastic talk show host. I'm going to join him for an hour tomorrow on 95.3 MNC, and that's up in South Bend, Indiana is where we're going to be. over the airwaves there. And we're going to break this whole thing down. So if you're in the South Bend area, please tune in. Would love to have you. Would love to have your calls. I don't know what Matt's plans are. He's quarterbacking this thing. If we're just going to talk through it, if we're going to take some calls during the hour, I'll be on. But if you're outside of the South Bend, Indiana area, you can go to 953mnc.com and you can stream it there. And would love to have you join us. There's nothing like getting on there and being able to have conversations with the listeners and really understand your point of view and talk through it. See if we can find a solution, come to an agreement, agree to disagree, whatever it may be. But I can guarantee this, neither Matt nor I are closed-minded to the situation. And so we would love to have your feedback during that time if you are available. So Barack Obama decides to give himself a big pat on the back as he prepares to leave the White House here in a few months. And during a speech in Germany yesterday, I believe, yesterday, quote, "We are fortunate to be living in the most peaceful, most prosperous, and most progressive era in human history." Now, I'm going to stop there. We've got a lot of quotes we're going to address out of this article from Breitbart. But is he living in the same world I'm living in? Is he paying attention to what's going on around here? The most peaceful and most prosperous era in human history. Now, it might be the most progressive. And by progressive, we don't mean good progress. We don't mean technology progress, medical progress, anything like that. What he means is the blurring of moral and ethical lines. That's what he means. By whatever you hold true and dear to you, that doesn't matter. You can't hurt other people's feelings. That is progressivism, ladies and gentlemen. It's not progress. It's regressing is what it is. And it's a situation where no matter what rights you have that are protected by the Constitution, including your First Amendment rights, a reasonable expectation of privacy, the ability to shop in free markets with or without the obligation to buy, none of that matters to this president. Keeping the homeland safe, closing the borders so that we can retain jobs and don't pay for schools and medical expenses for those that don't pay taxes, none of that matters to him. That's not progressive. That's delusional is what it is. But somehow this president has been able to get in there and circumvent this Constitution and compromise the character and identity of this country and inject his way and his will all over the place. But to say we're living in the most peaceful and prosperous time, are you kidding me? Do I need to remind him of what happened in Paris just a few months ago, Brussels, the raping of young girls, the violation and the just overtaking of sections of cities in Europe? Do we need to look at what's going on in the Middle East? They're no closer to peace than they've ever been. North Korea is just a heartbeat away from being able to launch a nuclear weapon. Iran is stealing our soldiers, kidnapping them, and laughing in our face. We have wide open borders. We have San Bernardino. We have Fort Hood. We have Chattanooga. We have 9/11. We have wars in the Middle East. We have Russia trying to impose their will on the former bloc of European states that were in the Soviet Union. This is not the most peaceful era in human history. This is not the most prosperous. If it were the most prosperous, millions of people would not be migrating from the Middle East and running. We wouldn't have genocide on Christians in the Middle East. We wouldn't have the suppression that we have in all of these countries, including Cuba, by the way. Including Cuba, where Obama wants to go over there and act like everything's okay. Like what they're doing to their citizens is perfectly acceptable. I believe the Castros are an idol to this president. That's exactly where he would like to go. He would not like to be handcuffed by terms and term limits. He would like to be king of the United States, and he would like to inject us into this world economy and this one world view where Christians take a back seat and Americans take a back seat for what he believes is the greater good, even though we know better. I'm disgusted at the hubris of this guy, and he just continues to open his mouth. Quote, if you had to choose a moment in time to be born, any time in human history, and you didn't know ahead of time what nationality you were or what gender your economic status might be, you choose today. Well, newsflash, Barack Obama, I understand the picture he's trying to paint, but we don't get to choose. God chooses. Remember him, God? In God we trust, the national motto. Remember him? You claim to be a Christian. We don't choose. He chooses. And it's our job to make this a peaceful place. It's our job to make sure that we hate sin, but we love sinners. That we don't force Christians by federal law to compromise their beliefs. He cited the growth of democratic government. Yeah, bigger government. There you go. Wealth, health, and education around the globe combined with a, quote, global economy. There it is. One world government. That's his goal. That lifted more people out of poverty. Why is he so focused on, this is a side note, why is he so focused on the global economy? Why isn't he focused on the American economy? He's not the president of the world. He's the president of the United States. His attention should be here. He should be focused on making America great again. He should be focused on not whittling down our military so that we can be pushed around by Iranians. Are you kidding me? But he's so concerned about this one world government lifting more people out of poverty. I don't buy that. In fact, if you pay attention to the numbers, it's the exact opposite. He also cited a more, quote, tolerant planet of different races and sexual preferences. Well, let me be clear. This whole Muslim movement that's going on, they're not tolerant of other sexual preferences. In fact, there are many, if not all, Muslim countries that will take your head off if you are a guy and you like guys, or if you're a woman and you're into women. Or if you're a man and you're pretending to be a woman, they will take your head off. That's not tolerance. That's not tolerance at all. Don't give me that nonsense. And tolerance isn't having laws shoved down your throat. That doesn't force submission. That doesn't force tolerance. What that does is that polarizes the two sides. Because I'm telling you right here and now, ladies and gentlemen, as clearly as I can, being homosexual is a sin. Being transgender is a sin. Now, hear my complete argument. All sin is created equal. When I tell a little white lie or I have a lustful thought or a foul word falls out of my mouth, that is equivalent in God's eyes to other sins. All sin is created equal, period. We work as Christians each and every day to try to better ourselves and rid ourselves of sin, and we pray to do it, and we try to get closer to God, but we will never make it. We constantly fall short. And that's why he sent Jesus Christ to die on the cross, to atone for that sin. But we are to be intolerant of sin. But we're supposed to love sinners because we're all sinners. We don't use this measuring stick, well, I'm better than he is. Well, I didn't kill somebody today. That's not the measuring stick. Christ is the measuring stick, and we all fall short. We are ordered to love everybody, our neighbors, other sinners, but we are to be intolerant of sin. And so I do not promote all of this, quote, progressivism when it comes to social issues. I do not promote the murdering of babies. And this president is delusional if he thinks this is a good thing. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. And what he's doing is pushing God out of our country and pushing God out of the world. And he's replacing it with this Islamic religion. He's replacing it with a if it feels good, do it mentality. for the love of money, things of that nature. It's garbage. He continues, around the world, we're more tolerant, with more opportunity for women and gays and lesbians, and we push back on bigotry and prejudice. No, you force the pushback, Mr. President, because you lock up good, hardworking Christian small business owners because they don't want to participate in this little social experiment you have going on. They're not interested in having their company name and as a result, their name on something they don't support. But if the left doesn't support something, that's a whole nother story. And if you'll notice, pushing back on bigotry and prejudice, there's the victim card again. If a unified, peaceful, liberal, pluralistic, free market Europe begins to doubt itself, begins to question the progress that's been made over the last several decades, then we can't expect the progress that is just now taking hold in many places around the world will continue. Is that the progress they want? Just dial anybody in Europe. Are they at a good spot right now? Economically, are they at a good spot? Is it a peaceful time there? Do they have a good culture, good family environment, good schools, or are they living in fear? Fear of economic collapse, fear of this overrunning by these refugees. If it's me, just from the outside looking in, they are living in fear, point blank. It really is that simple. This president is delusional, and he's wrong. He's wrong on a lot of fronts. And if it underscores anything, we have to be careful with our vote, because there were a lot of people that believed in the good-sounding arguments that fell out of this guy's mouth, only to lie and take advantage and steal from the American people. He will go down as the worst president in the history of the United States, and he's too arrogant to realize that he has been wrong this whole time. But now that he's got nothing to lose, and now that he's got one foot out the door, he's full throttle. He has made it clear several times he will push his agendas through one way or the other, even if that means a lawless executive order. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. We've got so much to get to on this Tuesday, folks. Hang tight. Billy Clinton opens his mouth, and I find it interesting. We'll talk about it on the other side.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the Internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
The following message is brought to you by Health Markets, your first choice when you need health insurance for your small business. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? Call us now and see if you can save money. Do you want to offer vision and dental to your employees? Call us. Do you think you're paying too much for your current health insurance? Call us. Do you want somebody else to do all the legwork and search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide? Call us. We're Health Markets, and thanks to a little-known solution, we could help your business save thousands of dollars on health insurance costs and save your employees money, too. Our service is free. Don't miss the great savings. Call now.
800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. That's 800-470-8021.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all states. Product availability varies.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
So Monday in Connecticut, yesterday, Billy Clinton opened his mouth, and he's out there jumping on the stump for Hillary. And, you know, say what you want to about Billy Clinton, that he was the very lever that was pulled to cause the economic collapse. And write me anytime. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove that it was him that started that whole fall of dominoes. You can say what you want to about his presidency, but here's where we're at. And I lost my grandpa 4 or 5 years ago to cancer, but there came a point where he just stopped caring what people thought about him. He was, for the majority of his life that I knew him, the most tactful and polite, quiet but strong man. He was that guy, and he could silence a room of his kids and grandkids with the look if he needed to, but most of the time he was right there laughing with all of us. But after my grandma died, it seemed that slowly but surely that tactfulness went away. And he just stopped caring what people thought. He would call it like he saw it. He would tell people what he thought. And I loved it. Now, sometimes I was embarrassed, but I loved it. I feel like Billy Clinton is in that spot in life, that he just doesn't care what people think anymore. And if he does great for his wife, that's fine. If he doesn't, that's fine too. He's been president. He's good. He's moving on down the road. And we've seen it as he called out some of the Black Lives Matter folks and so on and so forth. But I like it when Billy Clinton talks, even though I may not agree with it. It's no holds barred. And in Connecticut at this rally, he made this statement, and it's probably 6 or 7 sentences long, so bear with me. But it's worth talking about, and there's a serious issue underneath here. This is on the subject of Benghazi and Hillary Clinton. They had 7 committees look into that Benghazi thing. The first 6 were honest committees chaired by Republicans. They came up with the same thing. They said, look, yeah, there needs to be some changes made, but she's not responsible. No Secretary of State has ever been responsible for security stuff. What? We'll address that. But she did immediately take responsibility for implementing the recommendations. End of story. Well, who cares about that? Who cares that that's the only time in history of the country any part has ever politicized foreign policy and the loss of life in the service of America in that way? You never hear that in the press. They said breathlessly, we know there's now a special committee which questioned her for 11 hours, and if I can be colloquial, I think she ate their lunch because it was obvious that they were so political. They were so political. It was obvious they ate her lunch. First off, the Secretary of State, while she's not or he's not the Secretary of Defense, there are state issues that require security. She would have been the one to lever up the security there in Benghazi and elected not to do so for political reasons. She could have authorized help for those people being attacked in Benghazi from an air base less than 200 miles away. She elected not to for political reasons. She then lied to the American people and the families of the fallen, saying it was a propaganda video, not what really happened, a retaliation for the death of one of the militants' leaders. All of that is why her feet are being held to the fire. And it's not so much, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not trying to diminish the life lost, it's not so much that policy decisions were made. It's that there were lies to cover it up and lies to cover it up and lies to cover it up. And of course, Bill Clinton's going to dismiss it because he was impeached over lying. He doesn't think lying's a big deal. But if Hillary Clinton would have just come out and told the truth to the families and to the American people, Benghazi might be a thing in the past now. I'm not going to say forgotten because we can't forget those that gave their life. But she lied and spit right on the coffins of those that died, thinking she's above the law and above reproach, and it's not something she has to deal with. It's beneath her. That's what you get with Hillary Clinton, ladies and gentlemen. And to say that she ate the lunch in that committee hearing, I would encourage you, go back and watch that committee hearing. There are a couple of congressmen and senators that got into her pretty fierce. And rightfully so, in my opinion. But that's Billy Clinton out there running his mouth, right? Not caring what anybody thinks. Doesn't even care if he's accurate. Doesn't even care if he's accurate. And Benghazi was a big deal. It's a huge deal. It still is. But to me, it's a revelation of something more. It's a window into who she really is. And, you know, while people make mistakes, there becomes a habitual pattern. And after so long, you just have to say that's who they are. Well, Hillary Clinton's a liar, and she thinks she's above the law. She thinks she doesn't have to be held to account, and she thinks she's entitled. And she claims she's one of us after this big rant. Well, Donald Trump, come out of your big tower and quit flying on your big jet. Get down here with us little people. You're not one of us. You're not, Hillary Clinton. You are not. You look at all the shenanigans you're involved in to pad your pocketbook, and you can talk about the Clinton Foundation, so on and so forth. You are not one of us. You never have been. You never will be. You think you're above the law, and you think telling us whatever appeases us is okay and not the truth. Those days are over. They're way over. I'm going to take the final break here, and then I've got a number of stories I kind of want to roll through in this last segment. We're going to start off in Denton County in Dallas, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Candidate for sheriff in Denton County speaks his mind, and it calls for a round of applause, in my opinion. We'll talk about it on the other side.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size. And this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Sometimes in this world, PC takes over and the good guys get overran. It happens a lot. If you speak the truth, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a this or a that. If you don't tread lightly and walk on eggshells, you're in trouble. The left will come and get you. Well, Tracy Murphy, he is a candidate for the sheriff of Denton County. And Denton County is the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is made up of Dallas and Fort Worth, and they have their respected counties. Well, just north is Denton County, and that's where Denton, Texas is at, the University of North Texas, Texas Women's University. He is running for candidate for Denton County Sheriff. And he posted on his Facebook, he finally had enough of this whole transgender bathroom thing, and so he gave his opinion on his private Facebook page. And it reads like this: "This whole bathroom thing is craziness I have never seen. All I can say is this: if my little girl's in a public women's restroom and a man, regardless of how he may identify, goes into that bathroom, he will then identify as a John Doe until he wakes up in whatever hospital he may be taken to. Your identity does not trump my little girl's safety. I identify as an overprotective father that loves his kids and would do anything to protect them." Good for Tracy Murphy. He has everything to lose by saying something here, ladies and gentlemen. He is running for sheriff. Now, you have to understand the dynamics of Denton County. Denton County has the University of North Texas. The University of North Texas is as liberal of an institute as there is anywhere in the state. This is a liberal school, and as a result, Denton is a very liberal city. Now, I understand that's relative to Texas terms, but it is a liberal city and it's a liberal area. Now, for the most part, it's still red because it's still Texas, but he had a lot to lose here. It's not one of these counties or one of these jobs where if you are the Republican nominee, you're guaranteed the spot. That happens a lot. But that's not the case in Denton. And for him to say this, he has a lot to lose, but good for him. Well, the left comes out and starts firing their guns. Equality Texas, whoever these idiots are, condemns Tracy Murphy, Denton sheriff candidate, for inciting violence against transgenders. Are you kidding me? Trans advocate. Apparently these people have nothing to do but shop the news and try to find things to get mad about. Denton County, Texas, at GOP sheriff candidate Tracy Murphy calls for violence against transgender people needing to pee. That's not what he said at all. That's not what he said at all. But here we go. Here comes the left making victims. He said, look, if my little girl's in there and a man walks in, game over. It's that simple. He's not saying you should beat up any transgender person you should see. He says, if I'm concerned about my little girl's safety, I'm erring on the side of caution, and I'm putting you down, Hoss. That's how it is. Well, a resident of Denton, Amber Braggle, who is a mother of a transgender child, and we could go into that debate, but let's just take it at face value, stepped into fray and said Murphy's message could open the door for violence against transgenders. Well, what about this law opening the door for predators to just walk right into the bathroom because no one can question them, no one can vet them, no one can stop them? I feel like they might have gotten a blessing from potentially the future sheriff for vigilance justice. So she's thinking that, while that sentence makes no sense to me, she's feeling like this sheriff gave permission for vigilante justice is what she's saying. She did tell the news station she voted for Murphy in the recent primary. He's a Republican candidate and says she doesn't believe he's a bad person. Sometimes good people say stupid things. Well, that's where we're going to differ. I don't think it was a stupid thing. I don't think it was stupid at all. I think it was honest, it was right, it was upfront, and he didn't cave to political correctness. So hats off to Tracy Murphy. Good for him for putting what's important out in front of his political career and anything else that may move forward. Here's someone else that decided to stand up for the good guys. And this one isn't as shocking. You would expect this. Steven Crowder from Louder with Crowder, big fan of what he does. Was at a discussion, some type of event at the University of Massachusetts on Monday, where he was going to sit down with Milo Yiannopoulos, whatever, the gay conservative guy from Breitbart's, who it is, and former philosophy professor Christina Mary Hoff Summers. She only has 4 names. I don't know why she stopped there. And he was supposed to tell a few jokes and discuss free speech, and it was just a little event. Well, some so-called social justice warriors decided to open their mouths and start yelling at him as soon as he walked on stage. So what does Crowder do? He throws the script to the wind, and this is what he has to say. Now, there are some explicitives in here, so I'm going to let you read between the lines in those areas. He begins yelling at this guy who is heckling him. Do you have any idea, sir, how pathetic it must be to be you? These people wanted to hear a few jokes, some thoughtful discussion, but your head pops off the pillow in the morning with, how can I be a professional victim today? Let me go in and screw with their act just because, oh my God, your parents didn't tell you that your opinion wasn't worth that much. He went on. I'm not your gender studies professor who has to cater to your trigger warning, microaggression, and safe space BS. And he didn't say BS. I love this guy. It wasn't long before Crowder apparently was accused of being racist. Well, he responded to that. Oh, I'm a racist. That's a new one. Where'd you learn that? In Social Human Studies 101? Oh, it's the best. But the bigger issue, and Crowder went on to turn this into something important, is that the left now is openly against free speech and the open debate of ideas. And this is his quote, you're not fighting for free speech. You're not fighting for rights. You're fighting for the right to be a coward, but he uses a P word, and not hear opinions that you don't like. And he said, all right, I'm done. Good for Steven Crowder. Good for him. You know, he's caught a lot of heat with his time at Fox News and things of that nature, but he stood up for what's right. He gave that guy a piece of his own, and I wonder if more people would stand up and just say, look, you're out here screaming and yelling, trying to stomp on other people's rights. I'm putting you in check. I'm not saying do it violently. I'm not saying incite violence. I'm saying stand up. Don't let these people roll all over you because you're afraid they're going to call you a racist. Stand up for what you believe in. It's the only way you beat a bully, and that's what they've turned into. They've turned into bullies. You know, I remember an old country song, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. You got to stand up to these people. These people aren't trying to make the world a better place. They're trying to get theirs, and they're doing it through the guise of being victims of racism or sexism or social injustice or whatever they want to call it. They claim their First Amendment rights are being stomped on while they stomp on other people's. Stand up. Stand up for what you believe in. That's the only way to do it. And folks, that's going to do it for today's show. If I can push the button, we'll get out of here. Remember, in the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. We'll talk to you tomorrow after we bring home the elections from today. Be good. We'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the Blue Collar Professor, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Blue Collar Professor's daily podcast. Join us again next time as we take the liberals to school. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of the Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production.